Actuarial science is a discipline that assesses financial risk in the insurance and finance fields using mathematical and statistics methods. Actuarial science applies the mathematics of probability and statistics to define, analyze, and solve the financial implication of uncertain future events. Traditional actuarial science largely revolves around the analysis of mortality and the production of life tables and the application of compound interest. Application of actuarial science. Life insurance and pension plans are the two main applications of actuarial science. However, actuarial science is also applied in the study of financial organizations to analyze their liabilities and improve financial decision making. Actuaries employ this specialty science to evaluate the financial, economic, and other business application of future events. In traditional life insurance, actuarial science focuses on the analysis of mortality, the production of life tables, and the application of compound interest to produce life insurance, annuities, and endowment policies. In health insurance, including employer provident plans and social insurance, actuarial science focuses on analyzing rates of disability, morbidity, mortality, fertility, and other contingencies. In the pension industry, actuarial science compares the cost of alternative strategies with regard to the sink funding, accounting, administration, and maintenance of reducing of pension plans. Short-term and long-term bond rates greatly influence these strategies. As to the funded status of the pension and benefit arrangements, collective bargaining, the employer's competitors, changing demographics of the workforce, changing the internal revenue code, change in the attitude of the internal revenue service regarding the calculation of surpluses and both short and long term financial and economic trends. Actuarial science is also applied to property, casualty, liability, and general insurance, instances in which coverage is generally provided on a renewable period. Coverage can be cancelled at the end of the period by either party.
Microeconomics versus macroeconomics. An overview. Economics is divided into different categories: microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics is the study of individuals and business decisions, while macroeconomics looks at the decision of countries and governments. While these two branches of economics appear to be different, they are actually independent and complement one another since there are many overlapping issues between the two fields. Microeconomics. Microeconomics is the study of decisions made by people and businesses regarding the allocation of resources and prices of goods and services. It also takes into account taxes and regulations created by governments. Microeconomics focuses on supply and demand and other forces that determine the price levels in the economy. It takes what is referred as a bottom-up approach to analyzing the economy. In other words, microeconomics tries to understand demand choices and resources allocation. Having said that, microeconomics doesn't try to answer or explain what forces should take place in a market. Rather, it tries to explain what happens when there are changes in certain conditions. For example, microeconomics examines how a company could maximize its production and capacity so that it could lower prices and better compete in its industry. A lot of microeconomic information can be gleaned from the financial statements. Microeconomics involves several key principles, including but not limited to demand, supply, and equilibrium prices are determined by the theory of supply and demand. Under this theory, supplies offer the same price demand by consumers in a perfectly competitive market. This creates economic equilibrium. Production theory. This is the study of production. Cost of production. According to this theory, the price of goods or services is determined by cost of the resources used during production. Labor economics. This principle looks at workers and employers and tries to understand the pattern of wages, employment, and income.
Macroeconomics, on the other hand, studies the behavior of a country and how its policy affects the economy as a whole. It analyzes the entire industry and economies, rather than the individuals or specific companies, which is why in the top-down approach it tries to answer questions like what will the rate on inflation be or what stimulates the economic growth. Macroeconomics analyze how an increase or decrease in the net exports affect on the nation capital account, or how GDP would be affected by the unemployment rate. Macroeconomics focus and aggregates an econometric correlation, which is used by a government and their agencies to construct economics and fiscal policy. Investors of mutual funds or interest rates sensitive securities should keep an eye on the monetary and fiscal policies. Outside of a few meaningful and measuring impacts, macroeconomics doesn't offer much for a specific investment. John Maynard Keynes is often credited as the founder of microeconomics as they initiate the uses of monetary aggregates to study broad phenomena. Some economists reject his theory, which many of those who used to disagree on how to interpret it.
How economies can be organized. An overview of economic system. Think about what a complex system a modern economy is. It includes all production of goods and services, all buying and selling, all employment, the economic life of every individual is interrelated, at least up to a small extent, with the economic lives of thousands or even millions of other individuals who organizes and coordinates this system, who ensures that, for example, the number of televisions a society provides is the same as the amount it needs and wants, who ensures that the right number of employees work in the electronics industry? Who ensures that televisions are produced in the best way possible? How does it all get done? There are at least three ways societies have found to organize an economy. The first is the traditional economy, which is the oldest economic system and can be found in parts of Asia, Africa, and South America. Traditional economies organize their economic affairs the way they have always done. Occupations stay in the family. Most families are farmers who grow the crops they have always grown using traditional methods. What you produce is what you get to consume. Because things are driven by tradition, there is little economic progress or development. Command economics are very different. In a command economy, economic effort is devoted to goals passed down from a ruler or ruling class. Ancient Egypt was a good example. A large part of economic life was devoted to building pyramids.
In a command economy, the government decides what goods and services will be produced and what price will be changed for them. The government decides what methods of production will be used and how much workers will be paid. Many necessities, like healthcare and education, are provided for free. Currently, Cuba and North Korea have common economies. Also, common economies have a very centralized structure for economic decisions. Market economies have a very decentralized structure. A market is an institution that brings together buyers and sellers of goods and services, who may be either individuals or businesses. The New York Stock Exchange is a prime example for markets in which buyers and sellers are brought together. In a market economy, decision making is decentralized. Market economies are based on a private enterprise. The means of production, resources and business are owned and operated by private individuals or groups or private individuals. Business supply goods and services based on demand. In a common economy, by contrast, resources and business are owned by the government. What goods and services are supplied depends on what is demanded. A person's income is based on his or her ability to convert resources, especially labor, into something that society values. The more society values the person's output, the higher the income. Think Lady Gaga or LeBron James. In this scenario, economic decisions are determined by market forces, not governments. Most economies in the real world are mixed. They combine elements of command and market and even traditional systems. The US economy is positioned toward the market-oriented end on the spectrum. Many countries in Europe and Latin America, while primarily market-oriented, have a greater degree of government involvement in economic decisions than does the US economy. China and Russia, while they are closer to having market-oriented systems now than several decades ago, remain closer to the common economy end of the spectrum. A rich source of information about countries and their economies can be found on the Heritage Foundation's website, as the following Clear It Up feature discusses.